There's like 4 different fitness models in CrossFit that we kind of follow and think about when we're programming workouts. What Lexus will talk about tomorrow is the sick, well, fit continuum and how we kind of measure things with this in your overall health. The first fitness model is the 10 general physical preparedness skills. Okay, so these are just a list of 10 things that we try to hit over the course of a week, month, what have you, when we try to program workouts like this. Okay, so we have cardiovascular endurance, stamina, strength, flexibility, power, speed, coordination, agility, accuracy, and balance. So each workout that we do is going to have one or more of those components built into it. The first 4 of these, cardiovascular endurance, stamina, strength, and flexibility, are all organic in nature. So we just did Isabel, 30 snatches for time. If you looked at your quad muscle before you did that workout and then after you did that workout and you measured that, you could see the difference in size. Okay, so it might have got bigger due to the strength portion of that. You're using a barbell that's weighted. It's probably going to get torn up and then repaired later on when you eat some protein. Okay, but you can measure all those things in muscle fibers if you wanted to. These are things that are physical in nature, and we work on them during training. So what we just did, we're training to get better. The last 4, coordination, agility, accuracy, and balance, are all neurological. So it's going to take some practice to do that, or to get the ability to reach a skill, for example. So one of the things that we do during our workouts are jump ropes, and a version of that is a double under. So you would jump up, spin the rope under your feet 2 times, land, and then do it again and again and again and again. That takes a good amount of a neurological practice to get there. So you might start and trip on your feet when you're trying to take that rope under once. But the more that you practice that skill, the better you're going to get at it. Same thing when you're trying to do the double under. It's going to take some coordination, some accuracy, agility, and balance to be able to do that, not fall over, not trip. So sometimes when we come in here, we will be doing a skill portion where it's basically, hey, you're going to practice this thing, whether that's double unders today. The end of the workout, it was toes to bar. We're working on a skill trying to better you in that movement. And then the 2 in the middle, power and speed, kind of work on both of those 2 things, the physical part and the neurological portion. A lot of people, when they retire, they stop doing things that make their brain work hard, so they start to decline mentally. So when we have people come in here that are older, they're retired, oh, my memory's improved. My balance is better. Well, it's because we're training these things that it's an intentional to get your mind, your body stimulated and back moving correctly. The second fitness model are 3 metabolic pathways. The first one is the phosphagen system. Typically when you guys come in here, we'll have the whiteboard set up differently than what it's been this week. There's usually like 5 different columns on there. It will be the workout and then like the stimulus of the workout and the time frame we're trying to get it done in. So when I said it was a reach pace today, that would be one of these pathways that we're trying to work. So it's either usually the send pace, the reach pace, or sustain pace. And that's basically telling you which pathway we're working. So the phosphagen, that's like an all-out effort. So if I'm going to run a 100-yard dash or I'm going to do a 1-rep max deadlift, that would be using that time domain. It's very short. and it's a lot of effort to do. The second pathway is the glycolytic pathway, and that would be like the reach pace when we put that on the whiteboard for the goal of the day. The time that it's going to take is going to be like 10 minutes to 2 minutes, or 10 minutes, 10 seconds to 2 minutes. So right after you get out of the phosphagen, this one's going to kind of take over until about the 2 minute range. And then the third one is the oxidative pathway, which is going to be the sustained pace on the whiteboard. And then that's going to be like 5 to however many minutes you want to work out or do something. This one's aerobic, so it's like your muscles are using oxygen when you're doing it. Longer effort. So like think about a 5K run. You're going to go run 3.1 miles. That's going to take you 15 to 30 minutes, depending on, give or take, you're walking, running. So your muscles have time to use the oxygen in there. These two are without oxygen. They're anaerobic in nature. So like when you did Isabel today, you're breathing heavy, you're out of breath. It's hard for your muscles to get that oxygen in there. So that's kind of the point on what we're doing when we pick those different workouts. It's like your heart rate, how fast you're moving. So it kind of gives you the idea of what weight should I use to meet this time domain that we're aiming for. And that's why. And then fitness model 3 is the hopper. Okay, so we've shown you a bunch of different workouts this week so far. So we did Karen 150 wall balls on Monday. We did Isabel today, which was the 30 snatches for time.
It was the squats, the clean and jerks.
It was Gretel. It was 10 rounds, 3 clean and jerks, 3 burpees over the bar. Yesterday we did Jackie, I think. It was a 1,000-meter row, 50 thrusters, and then 30 pull-ups. So it's all different movements, right? So the fitness model 3 says that it's going to be the balance of all skills and drills will be the person who's the fittest. So if I took the 5K run, we put a 1 rep max deadlift. Murph is a workout where it's a 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another mile run, 100-meter sprint, and then the workout we did today, Isabel, which was 30 snatches for time. If we put those all in the peanut roaster or a hopper, and we spun that wheel, and then we took out a ping pong ball and said, here's what we're doing. And those were the events that we came out with, and we said, the 4 of us are gonna do all these workouts and write our times down, and whoever has the best average is gonna win. They're the fittest person. That's what this is saying. The specialty in CrossFit is not specializing in anything. We wanna hit all these different GPP skills. We want to hit all these different metabolic pathways. So when a random ping pong ball comes out of that hopper, we know that we're going to be okay at performing it. When we have certain days and people don't come because they're not good at it, that's the shit you need to be working on because you suck at it. That's your hole in your fitness. So if that comes out of that event, you want to be able to still show up and go, I'm putting in my best effort. You don't want to avoid those days just because I'm out of shape and I can't run 5K. Well, you can walk a mile maybe, and then the next time you walk 1.5 miles, and then you walk 2 miles. It's just about trying to see that progress day in and day out that will keep coming back. That's why we log our scores, right, Anton? And then these are 2 separate things that I wanted to go over just about CrossFit in general and why we do certain things. So this is the theoretical hierarchy of development in CrossFit, and it's basically just saying, what order of operations do I want to do things? So nutrition is the base of the pyramid. That's the thing that's going to move the needle the most, okay? So if you're not eating mostly whole foods, You're avoiding pop, you're avoiding alcohol most of the time. That's something that you need to revisit and get in order, okay? We've talked about that on Monday or Tuesday.
Why is pop so bad?
Why is pop so bad? The sugar that wreaks havoc in your body, if it's not diet pop, the fructose in there, which is a type of sugar, basically bypasses a lot of the processing that goes on in your body, and it goes straight to the liver. So if you eat a bunch of different foods, it's going to get broken down through your digestive tract, and then it's basically got to wait in line to get processed by the liver. So as your liver is processing things, the fructose will skip the line. It's like the fast pass at Cedar Point, and fat will start accumulating in and around your liver, which leads to all sorts of bad stuff.
Fatty liver disease.
Yep. So the 5 buckets of death that we put up there the other day, if you're eating or drinking too much sugar, your risk for being in that chronic disease bucket skyrockets exponentially. So that's why one of the first things we do when we say, how's your nutrition? Hey, do you drink pop? Yeah, I drink 6 a day. Well, okay, you need to stop doing that. How about we drink 5 a day for the next week, and then the next week, now you get 4 a day. Now you get 3 a day until it's gone. And again, it's not saying that you can never drink that, but understanding what that's going to do to your body kind of puts it into perspective on why we want to avoid that stuff.
How about the carbonated waters?
Carbonated water, that's a much better choice than pop. I would just tell you to, again, look at the label and see how much sugar they're putting in there. Yeah, it's a good question. So nutrition first, then Metcon, metabolic conditioning or cardio. That's the second thing. So you want to have your food, eating in order, and then you want to have a good base of aerobic capacity and building that so you can perform the other things that we would get to later on, like gymnastics, so body weight movements, pull-ups, push-ups, a lot of other things that we do in here fall into the gymnastics. Weightlifting and throwing, so like the Isabel workout we did today, you're doing weightlifting. And then the last thing that we would ever concentrate on is like sport. So sport-specific training, we don't really care about that. We want to generalize in everything. And then this little triangle is basically saying that everything that we do in here, we want you to be safe. So if you're using, say you wanted to do 95 pounds like Anton did today, I would have been like, you're not doing that. Never done these before, but you picked a weight that you could do safely. So we both mutually agreed that that's a good decision, right? If you ever get to a point in here where the coach thinks you're doing something that's not safe anymore, they're going to tell you, they're going to correct your form. That way you're not getting injured and you can come back tomorrow. And then we look at the efficacy. So is the program working? Have we set stuff up to where we can measure your progress? So just like I said in that, the app that we have, I tracked from 2022 till now and I went 6 seconds faster. So I can demonstrate that I'm improving in my fitness. The efficacy of the program is working. And then efficiency. So are you doing things correctly? When we squatted on Monday, if your air squat looked bad, we weren't going to tell you to go faster. We were going to tell you to work on your form first, right? Same thing with, we didn't tell you to add a weight if your air squat was bad or you've never squatted in the past 5 years, 3 years, whatever. So we will always want to follow that hierarchy before we ever tell you, hey, go faster or use heavier weight. It's going to be, are you doing it correctly? How are your mechanics? And then go faster for the intensity piece. Okay. Any questions on any of that stuff I just covered?